Welcome to the Film Garage 208 podcast. My name is Sarah and this is Daniel.
Hello.
Hello. Today we have with us Cate and Czarina, and they are the owners of Elevated Model Co. that is located here in Southeast Idaho.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah. So we just need to know about your business because I need to know more about
start
you
with
guys. But just tell us, what is your
Yeah,
business?
for sure. Do you want me to say it?
Yeah, go
Okay. Okay, so can I tell a little bit of a backstory?
Yes.
So, okay, fine. I'll just keep it simple. Just kidding.
Yes. Yeah.
So with Elevated Model Co., I started this probably around May. And the background of this company is that when I started modeling, no one was there to help me, guide me on how to reach out to people, what companies to reach out to. And when I started getting into it more with this industry of modeling, a lot of girls have started reaching out to me like, hey, how did you get into modeling? How did you do this and that? And to the point where I'm like, you know what? There's no one to like support models, like aspiring models.
Sure.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get a group of girls who've asked me. I'm going to start a content shoot and see where it goes so then that they can have experience in modeling. And then it was like successful. And I'm like, you know what? We can do something out of this. So I was like, I'm just going to name it Elevated Model Co.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why it's called Elevated is because you only go up from here. You know,
Yeah.
everything in life, you always succeed. So you take what you have and elevate it. And with Elevated Model Co., it's not only curated for models, it's actually for photographers, local businesses that's like getting into businesses or photography. It also helps, you know, everyone in the community.
For sure.
And they say it's like competition over community, but I honestly believe it's competition or community over competition for sure.
Yeah, no, that's definitely helpful to have like a one place if you're like in a big city.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
You could go to LA and you can find a place that has a solid list of models and people to help with your brands and your shoots and everything. But
For
like
sure.
we're behind the times here.
Kinda.
Yeah.
So like,
no,
we're catching
no
up.
one's filming or has been filming much out here, at least not to that extent of like hiring real talent.
That aren't like their friends
like real
or
trained
family.
talent. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and then Cate, she has an important role in
Yes,
it too.
okay, let's hear this.
No. So I've been gone for I've been gone for 18 months on a mission. But before that,
Welcome back.
Thank you. I was doing modeling. So I've probably been modeling for like a total of 2 years, something like that. But I had a group of girls. We had a group chat that we would do shoots together and whatever. But we just needed something that was a little more organized. So we thought a page would be great. But she already had her page. So we just kind of merged the company together.
Oh, okay, so was that already existing before you left?
Yeah, no, hers
It was just kind of when you came back, you're
Yeah,
like,
when I
this
came
is
back.
perfect.
Yeah. So we just merged the two companies together and decided to work together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So the difference is she curates all the models, like who wants to model, she'll collect a pool of them, right? And then what I do on my end is create content shoots, host workshops. So she'll provide me the models that want to do something. And if it fits the certain content shoot, then I'll pull them from her, or we'll both model, vice versa. So she's my right-hand woman.
Sure. That's really cool.
So what kind of things do you do for trainings?
For trainings, for like workshops.
Yeah.
So for example, I'm going to host one. It's just been busy this summer. And basically I'm going to have one photographer that's, you know, in the game for a couple of years. And then I'm going to invite a couple of photographers that's getting into photography who's only been doing photography for like less than 2 years.
Yeah.
And then I would also pull an experienced model or two, and then pull from her list of beginning models or getting into modeling, like a workshop. So it benefits the photographer because you're teaching them, or photographers learn on how to photograph.
Just a mentorship.
Yeah, mentorship. And then models, on the other hand, you have a model that's experienced and then can teach you how to like not look awkward or feel confident in front of a camera. So I just think benefiting both parties.
Yeah.
And so
for
that's
sure.
what workshops do. Hopefully it benefits the when I host one.
Totally. So do models have to like pay to go to the workshop, or are they like a part of your group? So this is like a mandatory
So right now, I still have to talk to Cate about it with financial stuff. Should we charge? Because for me, if it's an experience, like a learning thing, I feel like it should be free.
Sure.
If I'm being 100% honest, like in this community or in this economy right now, we're kind of broke. So
Yeah, for real.
I just feel like we should just have it for free. But when it comes to content shoots where we're actually hosting like a big thing where all vendors are involved, that's when we start charging photographers.
If money's going in, you gotta like do something.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So what are your personal experiences with modeling? Like, how did you guys both get into it?
For me,
Before the business started.
Yeah, your backgrounds in general. I just want to know more about
in general.
You. Yeah.
Okay. Well, for modeling, before I've been a dancer for like 15 years, and one of the dance moms, I'm from Washington.
Okay.
One of the dance moms she was a photographer, and so she was like, I really want to take pictures of you for my portfolio, whatever. So I did it for fun, and that was just like 1 or 2, and then I moved to Idaho. And there wasn't, like, I didn't know how to get started into that or anything. But then I saw somebody was looking for diversity.
Because you're going to school here, right?
Yeah.
You came here for school.
Yeah. Well, I moved here. I have a sister with Down syndrome that had some issues, so we all just moved here.
The whole family.
Yeah. But anyways, they were just looking for models, and so I decided to give it a shot. Yeah. And then after that, I posted it, and then people just kept contacting me. Like, we really want you to do these shoots. So.
Yeah.
She's beautiful too. So
literally, she's beautiful.
So it pretty quickly turned into a business.
Yeah.
Once you started doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what does that look like? Do you get a call from like a single person at the agency just trying to hire you, or like how does that go about when they reach out to you?
So I had an agency try to sign with me from Salt Lake City, but I was kind of like back and forth on it.
Is that the thing you want? Do you want to be signed as a model?
I actually don't. So like I looked really into it, and it seems like you pay more than you actually are given, because then they want you to do more like headshots, or like, oh, your pictures aren't good enough, we need you to do more.
Which you have to pay for if that happens. Okay.
Or there just aren't a lot of opportunities. But when you do it yourself, then you can reach out more to other people.
Totally.
And I think people are more comfortable with that sometimes, because then they can be like, I have this shoot idea, I want to pay you like, I don't know, some of them are smaller and some of them are like bigger.
Yeah.
They'll be like, I want to pay you like $60 to come for this 30-minute thing. And so it's just kind of like that.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, I bet it's so hard to find someone who's legitimate to like work with, to sign with an agency, because there's probably so many fakes.
I think for just like 2024, I feel like we're like phasing out of that type of stuff, you know,
right, like
where
you
it's
don't
like,
need the
yeah, you're fine. Like you can do it on your own. Like social media is like the tool now.
Yeah.
If you're not giving your money away to someone else, like.
Yeah, unless they're like really established.
Sure.
Yeah.
For,
But I'm
like,
sure
in
there's
LA
some
or
good ones,
something,
but
maybe.
like, because when we lived in Hawaii for a bit, I worked for a marketing agency, and whenever we had to find people, it was just really easy because there was so much diversity. Yeah. Do you find that hard here? You kind of mentioned it a little bit, but like.
Yeah, so that's why we started this,
Yeah.
because I think it's super hard to, because we're not, at least I'm not. She's like, like she would be like the model, like she has like the great figure and everything. Like she's
you
perfect.
do too.
No, stop. Like I think just we mostly see models as like one thing, like they all kind of look the same. So I think for this company, we have so many different girls and we have guys as well from different backgrounds, and I think it just brings a little more color and this difference.
Yeah, so like Elevated, like when I first started it, I really wanted it to be a safe space for anyone. But because to me, like modeling, like I give props to anyone who's modeling, because you put yourself in that vulnerable state, because it's like you open yourself up for judgment, criticism, and I give props to anyone who like models, because you're confident, and I just want us to be like a safe space for them and no room for judgment. And I feel like I hope it doesn't sound rude or anything, but I just feel like the modeling industry has like a certain look, like the American beauty standard. And obviously Cate and I are like people of color. And so it feels like sometimes it's hard to fit in or to feel beautiful or to feel confident. And so when we started this, I was like, we're going to accept anyone and everyone.
For sure.
No matter what you look like, what your height is, what your shape is, whatever you look like, you are so welcome to be a model. And that's what we hope to like send that message to everyone.
Yeah, I think it's definitely just that is all over, but specifically this community.
Exactly.
You go anywhere else, not quite as bad. But it's here specifically that we see that problem.
I mean, you know it's bad because you feel like you need to like
do something
preach
about
it out there and do something. That's how you know it's bad.
Right.
Yeah. Not bad, just no bad, but
Yeah.
behind. Yeah,
Yeah.
bad.
Literally, when
Bad.
I see another Asian, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I'm not the only one.
Literally,
Yeah.
it sounds bad. We're always like, after moving back from Hawaii,
Yeah.
because like it's Asian dominant in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And so now we moved back here and we're like, it just doesn't feel like
Yeah.
home anymore.
Yeah, I miss it. I miss the diversity for sure. But yeah, no, I bet that it's hard here. Like,
Mhm.
so how do you do that? How do you reach out for? I mean, I know you're saying you want you include everyone, but you're also trying to be like diverse too. So
Honestly, like the people that have been reaching out to Cate, I just feel like, I don't know, it's just like a really good diversity. Like couples, I saw one girl on the model list like that loves cosplay, you know, like dresses up, and I'm like, that's awesome. Like that adds
Just
like
different things.
different, you know what I mean? And there's like no judgment from us because it's like, be yourself, you know, modeling, it's like be yourself and be confident. What do you think, Cate?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I think we have had a lot of different people coming in. And honestly, with the page that I'm running, people just like the photographers just see the list of models, and so they can just pick whoever they want. So it's not
So
like
it's just a really open.
yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, okay. So is
Yeah.
it a Facebook page or
It's
like
an
It's
Instagram.
an
It's just
Instagram.
Instagram.
So they can just contact them or
Mhm.
whatever.
Wow, that's really
so
cool.
you don't they don't go through you.
I mean, they go
I'm
through
like,
Cate.
now
so
I
like
feel I'm like I
they
need to
see
look
her
at your
page, right? If they want to model, there's like, do you have a link or something, or they just message you like they want to be a model?
They just message, and we have this prompt, and they just introduce themselves and what.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
you kind of mentioned at the beginning, but like right now you're not making money on them for like if they
Like a
get booked
management.
through you, like, or you know, finding them through your Instagram page, you don't get a cut of that.
No, so we're not like an agency or anything. So when I hosted my content shoot, this
Like
was
a
before,
reference guide.
yeah, before I merged with Cate with our company together, I did a content shoot and I charged photographers for it because, you know, it's like I had to pull like different vendors,
Yeah, just
different
location.
models,
Yeah.
location. So then I was like, hey, I'm actually going to charge this one. So then obviously I have to pay my models for their work. That
Yeah.
they
So what
put
was
in.
your like price point? What was your
Shoot, I
dilemma?
forgot. So for me, I hope it doesn't sound selfish, but since I traveled a lot, because
Yeah.
most of the models are locally in like Rexburg and most of the photo shoots in Idaho Falls, Rexburg, I will say like since I did start the company and planned it all, I did take not most of it, but more. But then I looked at the models and said, okay, this model came for 2 days. So that's 4 hours. This model only came for 1 day, which is like 2 hours. So I'll base it off of their experience,
And the time.
the
Yeah,
time.
absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
hmm
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then for the photographers, you charged per.
So basically what I did, I did 3 locations when I did my first content shoot.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I did like a buy one, get one kind of thing.
Yeah.
So for all 3, say it's like $80. But if you only want to do 2 shoots,
Oh, out of the total.
it's
okay.
like 50 or whatever. But if you want to do 1 shoot, it's like 35.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
So where did you do this content shoot? Like with all the locations? How did you plan that?
So I did it in 2 days. The first day was in Idaho Falls, and then on the second day it was in Rexburg.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you do it in Idaho Falls? What was the theme?
Tophus Park, is that how you
Tophus
say
Park?
Tophus Park? Yes, we did a cute little picnic, and
okay.
I worked with the amazing vendor Lexi. She does like, her name's Idaho Events Lex. or
Events by
some-
Lex?
Events by Lex.
Okay.
She's amazing. I love her. She didn't even like. It was like a one-on-one like collaborator. Like, okay, we're not charging each
Just
other.
working
Yeah,
together.
working together, which is so beautiful about this community. Is like, we're here for each other. We're not going to be petty and be like, well, I'm going to charge you for this, you know?
Sure.
So we're just here as one. And then the second day, we did it at the Rexburg studio space.
Okay.
And then and then we did it at the sand dunes after.
Ooh, okay.
Mhm.
Fun. I've been wanting to go to the sand dunes.
Yeah, you have been.
Yes.
I know I have been. That sounds really fun.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
But now that you have a studio, I'm going to use you guys.
Yes, you'll have to come down
Yes.
here.
Absolutely.
So did you have a good turnout then for the photographers and models? And all that
Yeah.
for your-
So honestly, I was really surprised
Yeah.
at how well it turned out being my first time. So really, when it comes to content shoots, you have to like freaking post so much
yeah, I was
about
gonna
it.
say promotion.
Promotion.
How did we do this?
You
Yeah.
never stop the grind. You know what I mean? Post it on Facebook and post it on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to post it on TikTok, but I didn't even think about it. So it's just the only 2 platforms. But honestly, social media is it. You just have to keep posting about it.
Yeah. And so how
Yeah.
many showed up?
So on the first day, since it was early or in the morning, there was 4 photographers. And then on the second day, I think there was like 8 or 9.
Nice.
I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's been a while.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
So with that, are you coaching photographers at all through that, or is it just kind of they just learn from
Show up and
So
you
they
just
just
have
show
it.
up. So most of the photographers that signed up are already like experienced. They know what to do. What I did is just like, hey, this is the location, this is the time. Just be respectful of other people's spaces, because there has been photographers that said like, I feel like I didn't get what I wanted, because there's photographers that would like snag a spot and
I've
won't
wondered
move.
about that too,
Yeah.
definitely.
So then I just told them like, be respectful and just be mindful of other people. And I think I got a bunch of photographers that really worked well together. So it was a really good, safe environment for everyone.
Did it end up being kind of like networking for the photographers too?
I
Or
think
do you
so.
think, yeah.
Yeah, so I have a good friend. Her name is Maddie. She owns MOB Photography.
Okay.
And she literally was like, Serena, I got so many like new followers because of from this. I'm like, yes, that's what I want. Like,
Yeah.
I want you to grow your photography business. You know what I mean? That's the whole point. And then also too, for the models that I got, it also helped them be more comfortable in front of a camera, and also working with a lot more than one photographer, you know?
For sure.
like people
And-
being around looking at them?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like a big setting.
Exactly.
That
That's
can be
half the battle.
intimidating.
Yeah.
Because like we've had it before where we'll have like a whole big production and then you get them there and they're just like, and like, it's like nothing. And literally
exactly.
we're like, oh, wow.
Like,
I
you
wasn't
are
expecting this,
you are
actually.
freezing up.
Yeah. like we're this like the most confident person
Yeah.
actually. And
Uh-huh.
I was not expecting
No,
that.
yeah. I wanted everyone to feel so safe. And I told the girls, like, hey, if you need anything from me, just let me know.
Yeah.
And honestly, I just kept in touch with the models I've worked with. And that's the like beauty of this community, is just build friendship off of it, you know?
Sure.
And so we stay in touch. And then the models that I took from the content shoot, they're doing their own thing now. So it's really beautiful to see like where they started from, and like that one content shoot also helped them grow
they're
their
expanding.
Yeah, they're expanding their portfolio.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So is it mainly like photographers around here that are doing like family photos or like wedding or like business?
Wedding is the big one here.
Yeah.
Wedding's a big one here.
Yeah.
Especially in Rexburg.
Yeah. Literally.
Literally.
Yeah.
But I would say businesses like branding shoots and couples. Definitely couples is a popular one in weddings.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of curious about like what kind of your plans you have for like teaching these models to be like better models. Like from a photographer's point of view, it's nice when someone comes in and they like know their poses. And
Yeah.
if you're hiring someone, you know, if it's a regular shoot, I don't expect them to be prepared at all. But like if I'm hiring and paying for a model, I would like
Yeah.
expect them to come in
Right.
like
Calling themselves a
ready to
model.
go, like when we need to hit record and
Yeah.
things like that. Like, do these people come in at that point, or are you like getting them?
I'm like pushing them to
molding
get to
them.
that confidence, you know? Like obviously any model's welcome, like whether you're not experienced or very experienced,
Yeah.
like anyone's welcome to Elevated Model Co. We just want to help you grow. So with that, so the whole point of it is to help them build their connections with other brands or photographers to the point where they feel confident on reaching out. So like a couple of models, I taught them like, hey, reach out to as much as photographers as you want, say like XYZ, you know, and then I told them at first it has to be free because you can't get paid to build your
Yeah.
portfolio. And then if you feel like you're worthy enough, like then that's when you feel like you can start charging for sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So for like social media marketing, what kind of stuff do you do?
Yeah.
Hey,
How do you get the word out?
How do you leverage that platform?
Honestly, social media, especially Instagram, is
That's
like
your thing?
yeah,
Yeah.
well, I'm trying. Instagram's kind of all over the place because with reels and everything, like they say that's what what you should do to get out to as many people as possible. But you can like spend a lot of time on a reel and it could get like 30 views. But they say just to consistently keep doing that.
It's like doing the right reels. Like,
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
But then how do you know what's right? And
Yeah, it's just
a whole-
learning experience.
Yeah.
It is.
But also when we have models, like people who want to be on the page, they message us. I give them this little prompt and then we post their picture and they post it to their story. So then it just brings in more people because then their followers can see it. as well.
Totally. Because I feel like if you constantly have new models that you're just like updating their photos,
Yeah.
you should be getting a lot of attention regardless.
Yeah, and also too, photographers are always doing model calls. So when I
Yeah.
see a story, I ask them like, hey, is it okay if I can post it onto our page?
Yeah.
And so then we advertise like, hey, model call if anyone's interested, reach out. Like for example, Pineapple Gowns is looking for models. I reposted their reel on our story and they messaged us and were like, thank you so much for sharing it. And I'm like, see, like I love just communication and just supporting each business, you know?
No, it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, social media, so important.
Ooh,
Yes.
Another thing, voice acting. Add that to your list. Because we use that a lot. Yeah, like
really?
voiceovers. You need it
It
for
is
ads and
actually
stuff.
really true.
And it's tricky. Like the AI voices they come out with, they're just like terrible.
Yeah.
They're super obviously AI.
Yeah.
So if you could have people just learn how to like read scripts and just,
Or just keep
never
that in
thought of
your
that.
like,
yeah.
That's a good idea.
like your note of everybody. Have them
Mhm.
just like say 2 sentences.
Yeah.
Record it and you just
Record.
keep it in your
It's
log.
like random work you can do from anywhere, you know? Like,
That's so crazy. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do so much voiceover stuff.
Oh my
mhm.
goodness. I
Yeah.
should get into
So if you
that.
have anyone who has a good voice, good pot, like both of
Mhm.
you could do it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have amazing voices.
Yeah, you guys
I'm
have
like,
good
love
voices.
listening to you guys. I'm like
Sometimes
on the way here.
It'll be us.
yeah.
Like sometimes on commercials, there was this one commercial and he did a voiceover for one of the guys.
Yeah.
So now whenever it's like, hey, and it's
Yeah.
like Dan, it's
It
like,
was
"No
just the word
way."
hey.
And so now over time, I'm just like, hey.
Hey.
That's awesome.
So wait, it's not your face, but you
No,
took
it's
over
someone
the voice.
else.
That is so funny. Do you know
Yeah.
what that reminds me of? Super random on a tangent. High School Musical, the first movie. I
Okay.
didn't know that Troy Bolton sang, like didn't sing.
Yeah.
It was like
someone
you had
else's
to lip
voice.
sync.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and that reminded me
like
of that.
their
I'm so
intro
sorry.
song and like Gabriella.
Yes.
She
Mhm.
totally, or no, I don't know if any of them were. Sharpay was singing probably. Like
Oh,
Ashley
for
Tisdale
sure.
was singing.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
I need to rewatch that.
I love High School
Classic.
Musical. Did you know it's been like over 10 years now since the first movie?
Like, I remember when it came out.
That sounds right.
I'm like, what?
Watching that on Disney
Yeah.
Channel,
Yeah.
learning like their how-to steps on how to do the dance.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite thing.
Probably can still do it.
I love it.
Okay.
So have you guys done any modeling outside of Idaho?
Idaho?
Have you ever traveled for it or anything like that?
So
Just to see, I don't know, a different area?
I mean, I've gotten like calls like from photographers, like model call, like, hey, would you be interested in modeling? So my husband and I actually model. My husband kind of enjoys it. He only likes it if we get paid. So I mean,
Yes.
fair enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so just because it's so far from everything, we do have to ask like for a fee to help with our travel or
Totally.
gas
Just
and
the
stuff.
time of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the most favorite one I did was the Oregon one. We went to
Okay.
Oregon, and then in September we got asked to go to Colorado. So
Fun.
yeah.
What
so
were they
that's
for?
Just a couple's photo shoot, like an elopement kind of
For
content
like a
shoot.
retreat that someone was
Yeah.
doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool though.
Yeah, it's
Right.
really
Did you get
fun.
paid for it?
Yeah, we're gonna get paid for it.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's
That's why
exciting.
he's going.
That's
Yeah.
why he's going. So
Yeah.
if you
And
see
it's
my
like
husband,
an
it's
actual
great.
trip there too, because like that should be pretty if it's like a photo shoot location.
Yeah,
should be
Colorado
nice.
Springs. I'm excited.
Dang.
And you said the other one was Oregon?
Oregon, yes. We went to near Tillamook. Is that how you say it?
Tillamook.
Tillamook? That's
Yeah.
what we were talking
Yeah.
about the other day. Like
The
it's
cheese
not where
curds were
like
amazing.
Yeah. Cheese
Mhm.
factory.
Yes.
For real.
cheese
it's not where like
factory.
that beach view
Yeah,
is.
it's
like
like on
the
the
pretty
coast.
like
Yes.
rocky coast view.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was expecting
straight
like
out
a
of the
nice
Goonies.
beach, but it was chilly. I was
Yeah.
like, this is not what I expected.
Really cold.
Right? Like seaweed all over the beach.
No,
It's like,
seriously.
yeah, like not nice at all. Uh-huh.
Okay,
sorry.
so
Did you have anything, Kate? I'm so sorry.
No, I've had like photographers fly in from California to come do a shoot with me,
oh
but
cool.
that's basically it. Because I've been just super busy, but
Yeah.
For sure.
No, I ask just because like this area doesn't get a lot of work, which is unfortunate. Like
Yeah.
they push things to the bigger cities to do
Mhm.
things.
They do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like hopefully we're changing that slowly, but I mean,
Yeah.
with like people like you actually having the models to choose from and
Mhm.
yeah.
us doing production and stuff, hopefully this area changes. But
Yeah.
Yes.
I really
Make it
hope
be a
it grows.
point on the
Yeah.
the map.
Uh-huh.
Literally, the
Place.
only thing that's big in Rexburg or in our like area is Love Olive Co. I don't know if you guys heard about that boutique.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's like the only thing
think.
that like that's big that I've worked with.
Okay.
But other than that,
Like because they have like a social media presence.
yeah, they do.
Mhm.
It's like
Okay.
a big following.
Mhm.
But like my goal is to hopefully work for boutiques in Utah. You know, like
Sure.
Ruli or Baltic Born. I
Yeah.
don't know if you guys have heard of that. Call
I've
to
seen a
Serve.
few of them.
Yeah.
I've just noticed that sometimes like they'll like I get it. Like they stick with a lot of the same
Yeah.
models.
Yeah.
and, like
Mhm.
I'm sure with contracts and whatnot.
I will say
Just
though,
work your way in.
when I reached out to one of the boutiques, they were like, "How tall are you?" I'm like, "I'm 5'2". They're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we're only looking for
yeah.
models that's 5'7". I'm like, "Okay." So
Um,
there is like a downside for being short.
Sure,
Mhm.
sure.
That's got to make just getting work in general hard because they're
Yes.
just looking
Mhm.
for a specific
Just like
look.
numbers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Counts you out.
You just have to
Mhm.
happen to fit that look.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Are you short too? Are you 5'2"?
Yeah, we're the same height.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like you guys were like the same height when you
Yeah.
elected.
It's fun. 5'2" is a fun size. I love it.
Yeah, it's a good size.
So when you have these events, are you going around? Like, what do you do during the events?
So
You working with the models or?
so like the content shoots I host.
Yeah.
So like the last one I hosted, I obviously modeled for part of it, but I think I'm gonna take the back seat on this one, the next one, and just focus on the models and curate towards them.
Managing it.
I just think it's because it was my first time. I just wanted to see what it was like. But then now I know what it feels like from the model standpoint, you know, like someone
should
who's
help.
like, yeah. So then now I know I can like what to coach them exactly, like, hey, stand here, feel confident, do a lot of movement, XYZ. You know?
Yeah.
You gotta put them on like stations and timers.
Yeah,
where it's
exactly.
like,
That's exactly what we did.
switch.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So have you been
20 minutes.
rewatching America's Next Top Model?
I used to
The
actually
deep
watch
breath
it when
of
I was
both of you.
younger.
Yeah.
I loved the one where it's co-ed, where it was boys and girls. I will say the runway challenges were crazy. And my favorite memory was when they were walking on the side of the building. Like,
Yeah, walking down the building.
like this way, like
Yeah.
horizontal.
Have
I'm
you
like,
watched it
that's crazy.
recently?
No,
like,
girl. I've been watching Love Island, though.
No, it's like a whole nother world when you rewatch it as an adult.
Okay.
You're like, this isn't okay.
No, it's crazy because, like,
I think you need to
Yeah, they
restart.
hit
they said it's a
Restart
plus size
on
model,
these.
but she does not look plus size. I'm like, this is what they considered plus size back then. You know what I mean? That's crazy.
I think
to
even
me.
those standards have still barely changed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
barely.
But like
Oh,
even some of the content shoots on those America's Next Top Model ones,
Mhm.
they're so funny. Like the concept. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why did we ever do this?
But I don't know.
But some were
LaRoche is so
inspiring.
funny. Yeah, I love them. They are funny, but I will say I do feel bad because I don't know if if those models have ever experienced like, you know, like eating disorders after, you know, or body
No,
dysmorphia.
currently
I just
during
think,
it. Because some of the things they're saying,
Yeah.
it's like they're not okay to be saying now. Like
oh,
Yeah.
it's a good thing that we haven't pulled those old Tyra clips lately.
Or she'd be
She
canceled.
might be canceled.
Yeah,
She
we'll
would
keep
be
it in the vault.
canceled.
I will say like a lot of things back then. So I will say, again, sorry for the tangent. My husband
you're
and I
fine.
love watching the show called Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Okay.
And the things that they say back then, I'm like, if this aired right now, it could be canceled.
I
Oh, yeah.
bet on that show.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love it. Danny DeVito is my guy. I love it.
Still going on the same tangent of other
Yes.
things.
Oh, yeah. What's up?
Something for you to watch that's random is Wife Swap. I brought it up. again.
Yes,
I love Wife
I've
Swap.
Have
seen
you
that.
also watched that recently?
Not recently.
So rewatch it. I binged everything that was on Hulu. They're hilarious, but in the
I love
worst
it.
way possible.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
love it.
bad.
Not okay. It's
Yes.
terrible.
Well,
Yeah.
Actually.
I just remember watching it when I was younger. I'm like the kids, you
Yeah.
know, like they're like, you're not my mom. And like that one little boy, like who ran away. Do you remember that episode?
The
Oh, so
bacon
many.
one? Is that the
It's the bacon
There
one.
is
Yeah.
bacon ones,
Yeah.
yes. Uh-huh.
I don't know. The thing I'm binging right now is Love Island, the new season.
I don't think
6.
we've watched the season. We watched it.
You guys should watch
I
it.
really wanted to watch it, but then I was seeing that it was a really good one.
It's
but
so
then I went to go watch it, and it was like episode 35, and I
Oh.
was like, "Shit, I can't commit. I
No,
can't start."
there's
this
36 episodes, and each episode is like over an hour.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I was rotting in my bed for
Just
3
watching
days.
all of them.
I'm not ashamed of that.
Because when we have started it from the beginning, good show.
Good show.
We have enjoyed it
Yeah.
in the past. You just got to watch it from the beginning before you
Yeah.
get behind.
Totally. That's how I feel about The Bachelor. And I'm like, okay, I need to see the new men. But then after that it gets boring. But then I get excited towards the end. I'm like, well, who did she pick? But it's a drag though in the middle.
It is. Do you watch Bachelor in Paradise?
No.
I only watched one
I feel
season.
like we haven't watched that in a while.
No, because I used to be a big Bachelor fan, but then it started to like go downhill like a couple seasons ago.
Yeah.
I think it was after like, was it like the Claire thing? Like when they like had her for there for a bit and then they made her stop being
Yeah, the
there,
whole
and
thing
then,
was so
like,
stupid.
Like all
It's
of the when they
stupid.
went through all their crazy stuff and then
Mhm.
Chris Harrison got canceled.
Yeah,
That's
crazy.
kind of when I stopped.
I honestly, my favorite one was with Pete, the pilot.
Okay,
That
that was
one
a
was my
good one.
favorite one.
Pete the pilot,
Mhm.
and then
I remember his
What's her
name. I can't
face?
remember what he looked like.
Was he the one
Pete.
that turned out gay?
Was he?
he was the next one.
That's
Not
funny.
the next one.
Colton.
Was he really?
Colton did.
That happened?
Colton
Yes.
did.
Literally, he jumped
That's
over
awesome.
a fence for a girl, and then he ended up being gay. I'm like, all respect. You do
No,
you,
yeah, it was
but
like he like
that's
chose someone
crazy.
else,
What a
had a drama
faker.
about going
know.
back and forth, and then he was like,
Like
gay.
you know at that point. Like you don't.
You're on a TV show.
Come on.
Yeah.
He was doing that for the
the
fame.
money,
Yeah,
yep.
he totally did
For
that.
clout.
Yeah,
I totally
Yeah.
can see that.
because it worked.
Okay, going back.
Yeah, you know.
So
How
sorry
old was
for
he?
this.
Like,
Colton?
yeah.
I think he was like in
He
his
was like
20s.
our age.
Yeah.
He was like 20,
Yeah.
maybe at that time like 28,
Mhm.
27. He knows.
Yeah, he had a boyfriend at home waiting.
He knows.
He knows.
Waiting to get famous.
Okay, so
He already had merch ready to go. Yeah.
For real.
I think he came out of the closet like 2 years later, though, right? Or was it right after?
it was at least a year.
At least a year.
Fairly soon, but not
Yeah.
totally.
Oh, in my
Imagine he
head, it was like
engaged,
right
Abby.
away.
No.
Yeah, no, okay.
No. Okay, let's bounce back to some of the random
Yeah.
questions. Well, we
Yes.
still have a couple minutes. Okay.
This has been so fun.
Collaboration. Have you had any like? I guess that's kind of like what we were just talking about with your other things.
Yeah. That's okay.
Have you collaborated with other artists or businesses to enhance your offerings? And how so? Has it impacted your business?
So yes, so with Elevated, yeah, we've like built connections with other vendors, especially photographers and small local businesses, especially event decorators, because I think they're so amazing at setting things up. But like with my personal like modeling, I'm also a freelance model as well. I've built so much friendships and connections with photographers, models, vendors. So then if I ever need anything, I can reach out to them.
For sure.
And I just love how you build a relationship and you can just count on them to like if you have an idea of a photo shoot, like, hey girl, this is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
They can make that come to life and
Yeah.
they won't make a big deal out of it or ask for anything in return. It's just like, that's how a friendship works. And I think that's beautiful. Like with Cate, I just made friendships with her through modeling. And I just think it's just fun. I don't know.
Those are some of the best friendships.
It
I think
is.
when you get older, it's like you realize where you make
Yeah.
friends and like who those people are.
Exactly.
And like you're not in school being forced to be friends with these people now, you know?
For
So
real.
it's like now you actually need to find someone who you have like common interests with. And you
Exactly.
actually like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also has similar interests.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Because
for
that's
sure.
what some of like the most fun friendships are, when you can like go do creative things. And it's, like,
Exactly.
a fun collaborative thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's also fun just supporting someone else's business if they,
Sure.
if they just need their business out there. I think it's just fun to get to know them.
So are there any challenges that you guys have faced on your journey? And if so, how did you overcome them?
So, I started modeling, like taking it seriously, probably December of 23. So I've only been modeling for a couple
23?
of months. Yeah. It's crazy to think like it's 2024 and I've probably have still faced racism from like, I won't
around
say what
here.
with photographers and like a company.
Really?
Yes. So
That's
I'll
too
give
bad.
like I'll give an example. So
Yeah.
there was a photographer that reached out to me. They're like, hey, like there's this skincare brand, like we'd love you to model for. I'm like, perfect. So they gave me all the details. And then the next day, the photographer was like, I'm so sorry, but the company only wants white Mormon girls to represent this. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So I was like, okay. So then I was like, are we still really only
She's
choosing
like, and she
one
like literally
specific-
said that. She's
Yeah.
like,
Right. That's like to even just say that.
And I was like, okay.
but then it just shows like
Well,
that business
did they
isn't in
say
tune with
they said
2024.
white Mormon?
Yes.
Because like Mormon doesn't define a look.
But I guess like it
So
looks
like
modest.
that's like
Right,
crazy
right?
to even
Yeah.
say that. Like
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
interesting.
But like
yeah.
the photographer
Yeah.
was even disappointed in the
Yeah.
company. And so
It
from
is
that,
disappointing.
yeah.
when I take a no, that just boosts my like eagerness to like be better, you know, and like
Sure.
if a company doesn't want me, someone will, you know, someone will see something in me that this
Yeah, you
person
don't want
didn't.
that company.
I
Oh,
think
no.
like
No.
they
No,
missed
no,
out
no.
on me, you know what
yeah,
I mean?
absolutely. Yeah.
They don't
So-
deserve you.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, just
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
honestly, this is kind of cheesy, but Walt Disney literally is one of my inspirations because he has taken a lot of no's before a yes, and now he has like a big Disney company, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? So
Mhm.
we have to start somewhere. So a couple no's will lead to like bigger and better experiences. And
Yeah.
honestly, no's like builds character. And I think that's really important when it comes to something like this, where it's like, okay, I know my worth. If you don't like how I look or how I am, then you don't deserve me.
Totally.
So that's how I move
You
forward.
can't bend to
Yeah.
them because
Yeah.
no.
Exactly.
And do you want to?
No.
Like,
Yeah.
no.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Mm-mm. So
No.
racism definitely is still a thing that I face. One thing too, there's some girls like love modeling, but I've seen some competitions. So then I have to be like, okay, like, are you wanting to be my friend or are you wanting to just be my friend to get in the know?
Yeah, you feel
Yeah.
So
the
yeah,
vibes
that's
are
the
off.
only challenge where it's like
authenticity.
authenticity. I'm like,
Yeah.
I met a girl and the first thing she asked me, like, how did you get into modeling? Like, how did you like reach out to, like, how did you get into this? And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, my name's Serena. Nice to meet you. Like, you get to know me first.
Like,
you know what I
hello.
mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
are you only wanting to be my friend because I can help you? Or are you
Yeah.
really, truly wanting to be my friend, like, out of true intentions, like something, I don't know.
Right.
Like, Kate and I have, like, a genuine friendship.
Mhm.
That's what makes me nervous sometimes. It's like, I hope people aren't using me, you know, for things. But
Mhm. That's
It's a
how
tough-
it feels in
it's
this
tough.
like creative world.
Yeah.
Because like I
Because
saw
there truly are people who you genuinely have relationships
Yeah.
with just for what you can offer each other.
right.
Yeah.
And like that's fine. Like you don't have to be like best friends.
Mhm.
But like
but at the same time
you have to have good
uses-
intentions though.
Right. Exactly.
And if they have intentions of like overusing your services in any way and like
Exactly.
abusing that, then like
Mhm.
but that's tough.
That's
yeah.
always really hard.
Yeah.
Like I agree
Yeah.
too, because we've had that instances where
Yeah.
it's like you give an inch and then like they take a mile where you're like, oh
Exactly.
whoa, wait
Yeah.
a second.
And then also too,
Like slow down,
yeah.
slow down.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
one thing too I've also faced is originality. Like
Uh-huh.
I love to stand out as much as I can, and obviously there's some people that will have the same like vision as me and want to do it, but like
Mhm.
I've ran into things where people have copied me to a T, reached out to the same photographers, did the exact same thing, and I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, well, I mean, I feel like it's not genuine.
It's so funny.
You know,
when that-
I've-
It's kind of funny.
that's something we've heard too
We
from
had-
other people, not just like a lot of industries
Yeah.
actually have
Mm-hmm.
like people in each one who are like that, like
Little
that are
sneaky.
a little
A little
sneaky.
sneaky,
Yeah.
but then I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep my head up high. If
Mhm.
you want to copy me, that's okay. Like at least I did it first, you know?
I think
Yeah.
it's especially hard too
Yes.
because
you can't look back at all that
yeah.
what they're doing. You just
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
keep going.
It's
Exactly.
especially hard as because her like whatever she did was pretty unique, but then you get like the most basic, like pretty stereotype person doing it too, and then they get more attention. It's
Yeah.
Like she did a lot of work to do it, and then
Yeah.
That does
somebody-
get annoying.
yeah,
Mhm.
I get it.
Mhm.
yeah,
We've had a couple of those before where we like see some photos and I'm like, that's funny.
yeah, yeah.
That looks
like-
very
And
similar.
it's like,
No,
all right,
definitely.
okay.
Well, you guys are like,
Imitation is
yeah.
the sincerest form of flattery.
That's what we tell each
so
other. We're like,
just-
yeah, it's fine.
honestly, like it was hard for me to accept that when people are like, oh, it's like a flattery thing. I'm like, it's kind of creepy, but also like,
yeah.
But
I'm like,
that's-
they didn't even like it.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, but I know that was from me.
yeah, it's for me.
It's frustrating in the short term, but like long term,
Yes.
if you know you have a vision and you're planning on being in it for the long haul, like
Yeah.
that's just like a minor speed bump.
Yeah.
Like this,
Right.
like whatever.
Mhm.
Who cares
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
They're not gonna keep up with it. You will. Like,
yeah, exactly. Well, you guys are very original because I've never
Thank you.
seen a
Yeah.
studio with a podcast. So if I see someone,
Yeah.
I'm like, I already know who is the original.
Yeah.
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 This is
Well, thank you.
gonna be my new go-to studio now.
No,
Good,
for
yeah.
real.
You guys are gonna be. I'm your number one fan.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yay. But yeah, no, like the psych wall.
No,
Yeah.
This
love
is going to
it.
be a big factor for like production and marketing and just so many
It's
things
gonna
in
be
town.
amazing.
Even
Yeah.
like the wedding shoots and stuff. Like I've seen big
Yeah.
studios in Utah that
Yeah,
have
right.
psych walls and
Yeah.
they do a
Mhm.
bunch of beautiful wedding stuff.
Yes.
And it's like, this is literally the same thing.
It literally is the
Mhm.
same thing.
Yeah. So it's like,
Yeah.
And you guys are like budget friendly too.
exactly.
And I was
Right.
like, wow.
Mhm.
Mhm. I love the fashion. We did a fashion one with you guys. I think it was you that reached out, just to come collaborate,
hmm
and it was super fun.
Which one was it? We did so many at the beginning that were
Literally
like,
in the beginning,
Yeah,
we just did like
like-
whatever.
Honestly, I don't know how to describe it. We were like I was in like a gold jacket.
Oh,
and a
I think
black
we gave
jacket.
you studio hours. and you-
Yeah.
when I came in and used
Yeah,
it. Mhm.
yeah. We
Was
just
that
came in and
Mhm.
used it, and it was super fun, and it was very unique because I've been to other studios, but
Mhm.
nothing looked like yours, and I was like, wow.
I know that's just the beginning too. That's like
yeah. And
1/8
now
of
look at
this place.
Literally. And you have a black wall behind me and
Uh-huh.
it's looking amazing.
It's looking
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yes.
Right.
It's looking good.
we painted it glossy at first, and then we took pictures, and it was like super
like,
reflective.
nope,
So now
nope,
it's
nope,
matte.
Nope,
We're playing
Yeah.
that.
nope, no.
Yeah.
So
But no, it's fun. It's fun being in the creative space and being around other
Yes.
people. So
Mhm.
I think it's cool that you're
Also in
building
the
your
creative
hub
space.
of all of it, and like I feel like in time you will figure it out how
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
monetize it, and that will come.
Mhm.
But I think you're starting at the right place with like the core message, and that's
Yeah.
like the most important thing.
For
yeah,
sure.
just the community
Yeah.
Mhm.
aspect. Because yeah, we're
You
like
got to have the
in the
core
same field.
foundation to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
hmm
that's really cool. So do you have any advice for someone who's wanting to pursue their own passion or business?
Kate, do you want to start out?
Honestly, I would say just go for it. I think it's hard. Just don't compare yourself. Like you can get some things for inspiration, but don't be like, oh, this person did and they're doing so much better. I can never be like that,
Mhm.
because then you can never progress.
Yeah.
So I think just go for it. Do as much research as you can. trial and error. It's okay to do something and then have it completely fail. Just try a new thing and
Yeah.
Yeah. So to anyone who's listening, well, I'm sure there's a lot. For anyone who wants to get into modeling, honestly, don't be afraid. That was the one thing that was holding me back and why I started a little bit later in my life, because I was like very conscious about my body. I'm like, what will people think, you know?
Sure.
But honestly, if you want to get into modeling, just go for it. Be confident. Be yourself. Like, be genuinely authentic and be yourself. Because if you're not yourself, then it doesn't actually portray or come across like that to other people, or even in front of the camera, you know? So like Cate says, take a fat L at first, but then you'll like succeed. And then, yeah, just be yourself. And I think you'll truly succeed if you put your mind to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, random question before we pivot out of this, because you guys have like full-time jobs, right?
Yes.
And then you're also doing this on the side,
I do.
pushing. So like, I remember when we started our job, I was talking about this to Dan, because I used to be like that Instagram girlfriend. Like, that's how we got started, is because I would have him like take pictures of me and
I love
stuff,
it.
like college days.
Yep.
But then we like got into a job where it was almost like social media controlling, where I felt like I couldn't post like my life or like what I was doing, you know?
Okay.
Do you guys feel that at all, like in your lives? Like, that you
Basically-
feel like you need to like hide your life? I don't know.
Like,
How do you
does your managers at your jobs now allow you to like be pursuing this other passion, knowing like that your long-term commitment is not to their company and it's to your own
I
thing?
guess that's what their beef was. Yeah, it was like literally me having
It's
any
like,
other
oh.
interest meant
Oh,
I
gotcha.
wasn't committed
Okay.
to the job.
Yeah. So I am like a part-time actually, because I'm going back to school.
Okay.
So I work at a hospital.
Okay.
And I will say there was one instance where my manager follows me on Instagram. I don't like post anything too crazy. I just like posted like a shirt or a skirt that was a little bit too short, and she was like, be careful what you're posting, because what if patients find you and like they might find you creepy. I'm like, well, that's not on me.
They're
That's
the
on
creepy
them.
ones, yeah.
And then I'm like, first of all, you're telling me that as a manager, that's like kind of
It's like a little
weird,
inappropriate.
too.
Yeah, it's
Right.
a little weird.
so I was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna keep doing me.
Yeah.
But I still have like respect for myself. Like, I want to showcase like, you know, my creative work.
Right? Yeah.
Not post anything too provocative.
but not like dwindle
But the
yourself.
fact that you have to
for-
think about it is like weird, you know? Or,
I
like,
kind of got
shouldn't
over
be
it.
that
I'm
way.
like, you know what? If people are gonna see it, they're gonna see it. Like,
Sure.
I put myself out there. So I mean, like, I'm letting people judge me, and if they want to critique it, then so be it.
Yeah.
Just want to post whatever I want to.
Yeah. You do you.
What about you, Cate? Do you feel like you have to hide it from your boss?
no, I actually
It's
I
probably it's a good question. It's something probably a lot of people
No,
have
like
to deal
I
with.
that
Yeah.
was one of my
No,
like,
it's especially with companies that are trying to keep you long term. You know, like anyone in
but
a
not
manner.
even like, because it's like, yeah, like not even provocative photos, just like showing like
Yeah.
any other interests.
I mean, that like the first job I had was the marketing agency, and then as soon as I told him I didn't want to be a marketing director, he was like, "Okay, well, you're fired."
Pack your bags, get out
And
of
I'm
here.
like, "Well, I'm not saying I want to do jump ship now. I'm just saying my like goal isn't to be here forever."
Right.
But because I said that, it was like enough to.
Like,
He
you're
was like,
gone.
"Yeah, I don't want you here. Like, we want someone who wants to be here for the next 10 years." And I'm like, "Who knows that?
yeah.
Anyone that tells
You're
you
like,
that
I'm
is lying."
24.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So yeah, like
crazy.
it's interesting how that's.
Just
Anyways.
just those little mental factors.
Do you
how
feel
they
that?
get into
I
that
don't. I don't even know if my boss knows I do this, but my manager knows. And they're pretty supportive. I think it's also helped the business where I work get more people into.
Where do you work?
okay.
I work at a Teton
Right,
bagel.
right,
Yeah.
bagel. Mhm.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's kind of fun because then,
Because you're like social there. You talk
yeah,
to people.
actually we'll have a sandwich named after me now. So.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, so it's fun to have people just come in and be like, I want this sandwich. And I think
You're
it's
an
been
icon.
fun. And I manage their social media as well. So
Uh-huh. So they're fine with
Yeah,
you.
they're
You're
fine.
Gucci.
yeah.
Okay.
She's like the queen of social media. I'm like,
I am not.
she's like posting reels all the time. I'm like, girl, I cannot even like take a video or a photo of myself right now.
No, they tell
didn't
yeah,
know
they
you do
say
that.
consistency,
Yeah.
but honestly, I have no idea.
That's why you're good partners, though.
Yes.
You'll figure it out.
She does
That's
that.
Yin
Yeah.
and yang right there. So it's
Yeah.
working out.
Yep.
Yes.
yin and yang.
I call her my chocolate chip cookie.
Oh,
Yeah, and she's the fortune cookie.
perfect.
I love
That's
it.
great.
The duo.
I mean, you've only been doing this for what, a couple months? You
Yeah.
Yeah, less
literally,
than that,
June.
like a month.
Yeah.
said year from now, you'll be in a totally different place. You just keep going.
Totally.
Yeah.
We'll check back in then.
That'd be
We
so
will be
cool.
right here
When you're
again in a
update.
year.
Okay.
When you're
That'd be
update.
awesome.
Okay, so if you made it this far,
Mm-hmm.
where can everybody follow you?
So there's a Instagram that we have. It's called Elevated Model Co.
Okay.
And then Elevated Model List. But if you guys want to support me too, it's serena.model on Instagram.
Okay.
And then
Mine's Cate M. Bailey. It's with a C.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And then if you also made it this far, like and subscribe and follow our podcast, please. It'll motivate us to do more.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank
So
you
I
for
don't
having us.
quit. Okay. Well, thank you so much. It was so great meeting you guys.
Yeah,
It was.
So nice to
you.
meet you. It was so
Okay.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.